Hi everyone, welcome to a freezing cold and again raining day in England. 60, I think it's 63 days in a row it's rained now in England. Oh, what I'd give to have been brought up in Venice in America. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today, for those that have got a few minutes to spare, about a few things regarding weightlifting, and you have no reason at all to listen to anything I've got to say. Most of you don't know me from Adam, and those that do are probably miserable that they do know me, and those that don't are probably better off for not. But anyway, I see, as do many of you, a sport or a thing that we're all involved with, that we all love so much: weightlifting, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, recreational lifting, all of this. And I often wonder whether this is the activity of all of the activities in the world that has so many contradictions and people with so many ideas and conflicting ideas about what works and this works and that works and that doesn't and this way is best. And the people that say this way is best have often used that way and they look great, and people that contradict that or don't agree with it have tried a different way and that works. A few examples: high volume versus high intensity. We have the OG of high volume with Arnold. High volume, did that work for him? Absolutely. A lot of the top strength and bodybuilding athletes in the world have used high volume. And then we've got more recent times, Dorian with high intensity. He was pretty successful. And then we had people that lifted high volume with high intensity. People like Ronnie Coleman. Did it work for him? Absolutely, until it didn't. Sad to say. These are all people at the top of the game. They could probably have done anything and they would have got there. But what works best for you? Is it high volume? Maybe it is. Is it high intensity? Maybe it is. Is it a mix? Maybe it is. And then we've got other things. The best recovery regime. Should you do ice bath therapy? Maybe you should do it. Maybe you shouldn't. Is walking the best way to do it? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. What do the science guys say? Well, science guys often say things that people that have trained for a long time in the gym know to be nonsense, or know to be true. But that doesn't mean it's nonsense for everybody, and it doesn't mean it's true for everybody. A lot of you will know that one of my great heroes was Louis Simmons. And I think he hit the nail on the head when he said, everything works, but not everything works forever. And then we have Stan Efferding, who is another hero of mine. He said, compliance is the science, consistency. Consistency is the message he was trying to get across. You can train high volume so long as you can recover from it, so long as you're consistently doing what you're doing. High intensity will work for you if that's what you want to do, so long as you are consistent with it. The important point is that you don't just do something for a short period of time and change and jump onto something else and then jump onto something else before you've actually given it long enough to actually know whether or not it's actually going to work for you. I remember watching a Dave Tate podcast, a Dave Tate table talk, in which he said, look, whether it's for powerlifting or whether it's for bodybuilding or strongman, whatever it is, pick a fucking program and do it for 12 months. Just do it for 12 months and don't deviate. Log everything, write it down, what you've got, and try over the year to improve. Maybe you want bigger biceps, maybe you want a bit of bench press, maybe you want better hamstrings. And while we're on body parts versus movements, if you are, say, a powerlifter, a strength athlete, which is the best deadlift accessory? Is it good mornings? It might be good mornings. Is it Romanian deadlifts? It might be Romanian deadlifts. You got to figure it out by doing it for a consistently long length of time to be able to know what the data says for you. What about bodybuilders? Is the best pec exercise for you because you're more interested in body parts? Is it bench press? Well, it might be bench press. It might be bench press. It might not be. Is it incline dumbbell? Might be. Decline? Might be. It could be dips. It could be flies. It could be a whole number of these things. What it comes down to is the consistency with which you are prepared to follow? How consistent can you be over a period of time? And we have stimulus, and then we have recovery. The two things for me, and people make this really complicated, for me, there's only two things, whether it's for strength and whether it's for recovery. And while we're on a subject, you have no reason to listen to me. I'm 51, 52 next time round. I have been in the physical culture world, if you like, probably for longer than some people watching this have been alive. And my lifts are reasonably good, better than a lot of people watching this, but nowhere near as good as some people that might watch this and just skip through, and that's fine. And I don't want this to be coming across as though it's big-headed or conceited, but I have some good lifts. I've never really been concerned with bodybuilding. I've been more interested in strength. I have squatted and deadlifted over 300 kilos. I've bench pressed over 200 kilos. But for me, what my best lift ever was, my best ever lift was overhead press, which I actually did last year, early last year I think it was, or late the year before, 150 kilos at 50 or 49, whichever it was. That for me was my best lift. I'm not saying this to be big-headed or conceited. I just want people to understand that I'm not saying it from someone that's brand new and has figured a few things out and wants you all to know that I know best, because I don't. And just because I've got some reasonable numbers, reasonable, not stellar, doesn't mean that I have all the answers. I don't. But I do think one of the key answers is consistency. As I was saying, there are two main things that you should be concerning yourself with. The stimulus. As a bodybuilder, how much stimulation you can create in a particular muscle, maybe it's your pecs, your traps, your lat, whatever it is. Or for strength athletes, for training and movement. Now, of course, there is a crossover. Bodybuilders will always be able to get something out of now and again having strength blocks, and strength athletes will always have to at some point have to realize you are going to have to build a little bit of muscle. We all know that. Stimulus, the exercises, the push, the pull, the squat, whatever it is. And then everything else that you do is recovery, whether it's sleep, which has got to be up there as number one. Equal number one, your food. And then your hydration. Those three things will go a hell of a long way. If you dial that in and nail it, if you nail your sleep and you nail your nutrition and you nail your hydration, you'll be staggered how far you'll go. You will grow and you will get stronger and you will look better and you will feel better. There are other layers under the recovery. Supplementation. Should you be using creatine? Well, yeah, maybe you should if you can tolerate it. Some people get a bad gut from it. Other people thrive off 5 grams a day. Other people have bumped it up after that recent study that showed that up to 30 grams is great. Give it a go. Should you supplement with whey protein? Well, if you're struggling because of your lifestyle to get the protein from food, why would you not? Why would you not take some protein? What about the peri-workout meal? Having dextrose for your liver glycogen and all of those sorts of things. Well, again, if you need it because you haven't got the time to do the other things and it can help you be more consistent, then you probably should do it. What I don't want you to do is to tie yourself in to an absolute belief forever. Because like, again, Louis said, everything works, but not everything works forever. You've got to chop and change it up a little bit after a period so that you know whether the thing that you've been doing has been working. And it's not going to, you're not going to get that data by doing the starting strength 3 sets of 5 for 3 weeks and not eating properly. Or you're not going to get those results you want if you're going to bed at midnight because you've been gaming and then you're up at 6 to go to work and you've skipped breakfast and then you come home and have a curry. There are things that we know are not going to work. And what's not going to work is half-arsing your efforts. If you want to get bigger and you want to get stronger, you've got to stimulate, which actually most people are pretty good at. But stick to your program. Nail the big 3 when it comes to recovery. Sleep, nutrition, hydration. And then if you want to add walking and then you want to add ice baths, or you want to add a nice warm bath or red light therapy or saunas or any of those things, if they work for you and they make you feel better, brilliant. And it doesn't matter if it's placebo. If going in a sauna makes you feel good and makes you feel better, why is that a bad thing? It might not be. Anyway, That's a 9-minute, that's a 10-minute video. If you've stayed this long, I'm sorry about that. I just hope that it's given you something, a little bit of clarity as to not complicating and not listening to too much complications when people are talking to you online. I hope it's made it a little bit simpler, because it's not actually as complex as it need be. Anyway, it's nice to see you all. As Mark Bell says, strength is never a weakness, and meekness is never a strength. But being able to speak the language might help. Catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.